Hey guys, just got back in from my bike ride, and it's kind of cold, cloudy day. It's supposed to get sunny out there. Here, let me show you. Certainly doesn't look like it. It's one of those days. It reminds you, like I said, it's a 10-mile bike ride. It reminds me of years past. Kind of cloudy out there. You know, and the old house I used to live at is right down the street. When I used to use, I went by it, and it's a mess. I was thinking about when I lived there, and I was thinking about my neighbor that lived there. I remember this one time, I had bought like a half ounce of crack or something like that, and he came home, and I tried to talk him into it, being the scumbag addict that I was. I met him in the driveway because I wanted to sell some and turn it over. Now you'll see this video is not about glorifying it or anything like that. So don't get the wrong impression, all right? So I keep thinking, right? And I think about that day. I'm all by myself today. It's Columbus Day. I'm probably gonna do some painting. I gotta go to the store. I gotta do a few things. More than likely I'm gonna do painting, and I wanna get my paintings on Etsy to sell. But anyway, I just did 4 hours. I went to the gym at 5 o'clock. I walked 5 miles up the dam. I went for a 10-mile bike ride, and I did another hour of lifting weights here. So I'm all done with that for today. But, so my point being, so I started thinking, it's like, what if I used crack today? You know, and people in recovery will understand. People that aren't in recovery probably get nervous, like, oh my God, is he thinking of using? No. But this is part of being an addict or recovering addict. It's going to go through your head. It's part of what keeps you clean is your reasoning. Let me turn the TV down. So I think to myself, well, I certainly got the time all to myself. And I was like, I got the money. I could buy an ounce, 2 ounces, you know. So then I'm thinking, but then what would I do once I bought it? First of all, I haven't bought drugs in 13 years, but it was never that hard. You know, you could always go down to the hood. And I'm riding my bike thinking of this stuff. So I'm like, okay, so then what would I do? I'd come home with it. An ounce of crack. That's a lot of fucking crack. You know, and then I'm like, well, what would I do with it? And the first thing that pops in my mind is I'm riding my bike, and I respect my body so much more now. You know, after all this working out, lifting weights, you know, I'm proud of my body. I'm healthy. You know, people out there, I'm going to be 54 years old, and people come up to me routinely and say, oh my God, Daryl, you're an inspiration. I can't believe, you know, you're so dedicated. You're out there in the snow and the rain. But I like the results, man. It's never enough. I always want to be better. I want to be better than I was yesterday, every day. You know, I want more. So I started thinking, I was like, what would that crack do to my body, to my lungs, to my heart? I started thinking about my heart, because I trust my heart. I just pedaled like 2 miles up a hill, you know, and 10 miles overall. And I'm like, you know, I could not think of putting my heart, which has been so good to me, you know, and I built up all this muscle and everything. I couldn't think of doing that to my body, you know, smoking crack. My lungs that had been clean for 13 years. Then I started thinking about my brain, man. You know, all that shit's out of my brain. You know, and they say it takes a long time because how crack, and especially meth, works is it fires up, it pours all your endorphins, your adrenaline, just dumps it into your bloodstream, and you get a wicked rush. Problem is, you know, you end up with no fucking endorphins, no adrenaline. So when you quit or you don't have any more, you feel like fucking shit. You want to die. That's the stuff that makes you enjoy life. That's the stuff that makes you enjoy sex, food, sleeping. When you dump it in your bloodstream using crack or meth especially, you get no joy out of anything anymore. You know, life fucking sucks. So I'm thinking about that. So I'm thinking, you know, tomorrow I would feel like fucking shit. I feel like shit for weeks. You know, the gym, you know, painting, I wouldn't be able to paint. You know, I couldn't even think of painting when you know, And I think about all the stuff that I would miss. And most of all, I thought what I'd do to my body and my brain, that I've spent 13 years rebuilding, that I'm proud of, man. So I got to my house, I got here, and for what? Like I said, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you guys, okay? I wasn't gonna say this, but I'm gonna be straight up honest with you guys, okay? When I used to use crack, I said at the end I was using it alone. I would always get my porno, because I didn't have a girlfriend. When you're that bad of an addict, you can't even keep a girlfriend. The only girl you're gonna have is another hardcore addict, and all you're gonna do is steal from each other. So my girlfriend, my friend was porno magazines in, I think it was VHS back then, 13 years ago. So that was my thing. That would excite me. I'd get my crack and I'd get my porno and I'd page through my porno. Check this out. I'm going to tell you another secret. Okay. The porno mags, I'd get big boob magazines and I'm all geeked up, high on drugs, high on the crack. And I'd rip out the pages with the ones that turned me on and I would pin them up on the walls. Why? I don't know. Some part of drug-induced that was part of my high. And I'd pin them up all over the walls in my spare room, and I put on videos, and I'd sit there, and I could never get aroused or pay attention to the video or the magazine because the drugs always came first. I'd put it in little piles and do more and page through magazines. It was just psychotic. So I thought about it, why would I do that now? I mean, that part of my life doesn't, thank God, it no longer appeals to me whatsoever. It's to the point now where I wouldn't even understand why I would do something like that, So I'm thinking if I bought these, if I did get drugs, theoretically, what would I do? Because I wouldn't even know how. I wouldn't be able to go back to that porno, because now it's like I have normal relationships again and everything. Well, not at the moment, but you know what I mean, and I couldn't even think of doing weird shit like that again, so I get back to my house. So basically, yeah, I could buy an ounce of crack. Yeah, I could sit here and smoke it. Nobody would know for a day or 2 days, probably get away with it. But why? Why? What would I do? For what? It would basically ruin my fucking day. It would ruin my week. I wouldn't be able to do the things I love doing now, working out, painting. I can't imagine doing that to my body. Like I said, I would feel so bad for doing that to my body. There's another thing too. I pray. I used to pray because it was hard getting clean, as you people know, fucking hard. And I would tell God, I still pray every single day. I have my Bible next to my bed, and I always hold on to it when I pray every morning. And I still pray every morning. It's just what I do. Here's my Bible with my cross taped onto it, and I hold that every morning, and I pray for like 15 minutes. And I think because I prayed to God, please help me have the strength to get clean and sober, to stay clean and sober just for today. I used to pray that every day back at the beginning. So now I'm thinking, not only would I betray myself, my body, my family, I'd betray God. Because God came through, man, whether you want to believe in him or not. I asked for his help, and I got his help. Not too many people go 13 years from being a hardcore crack addict and heroin addict, using for 20 years straight every day, and then quitting. Something magical happened, man. So, at the end, I just got here on my bike, and that's when I broke the camera out. And people who are in recovery will understand this. We go through this, addicts go through this in recovery. You go through this a lot. It's part of being in recovery. And see, so my final conclusion, fuck no. Yeah, I could do it. Fuck no. Why? It would ruin everything. I'd feel like shit. I can't do that to my body. I've been working out 3 hours a day for fucking 12 years. Why would I do that to my body? it'd betray everything. I couldn't do it. So see, this is part of being in recovery, and this doesn't happen every day. It happens every so often, and it reinforces in your mind, you know. So if somebody would come up to me or some chick, or whatever, hey, I got some crack, I remember shit like this. It's like, fuck no, why? I have no. I'm so far removed from it now. I don't even know why I ever used it. But like I said, people in recovery like me, like this, we will go through these periods where we ask ourselves, yeah, I could do it now. What would happen? And I'm sure alcoholics probably do the same thing. They're probably like, yeah, there's a bottle right there. I could do it. It's right there. But what would happen? See, so it's all part of being in recovery, successful recovery. So, yeah. So I'm going to continue my day, take a shower, and do some painting, and fucking love life, man. It's a beautiful day. Stay clean and sober.